Okay, 7.4 day 3, we are looking at complex fractions. Okay, a complex fraction is a fraction that contains a fraction in its numerator or denominator. So you've got a fraction on a fraction. On this, I've got a fraction on the top, I've got a fraction on the bottom, which is no good. You do not, in order to simplify your fraction, you can't have a fraction on your fraction. Okay, so we're going to simplify the complex fractions by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the least common denominator of all the fractions on the fraction. Okay, so for 1a, let's look at the denominators of the fractions that are on the fractions. So on the top, I have the x. Right down here, I have the x. Since they both have x's, the least common denominator is going to be x's, or just x. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the x. So let's multiply the top, the whole thing by the x, and the same on the bottom. I'm going to multiply the whole thing by x. And this is allowed because I'm multiplying the top and bottom by the same thing. Okay, I have to distribute this. So if I do 3 times x, I get 3x plus. Okay, if I multiply by x, this is like x over 1, so I'm really multiplying the top by x. So I'm doing 5x, but it's still over x. So I'm going to say 5x over x. Okay, that's the top of my fraction. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the bottom. I'm going to distribute the x. I'm going to get 7x over x. Minus, and then I'm going to do 2 times x, and I got 2x. Okay, now if you're looking at this and going, isn't 5x over x just 5? I'm going to agree with you. Okay, so I'm going to bring over the 3x plus. If I have 5x over x, the x's just cancel out, and so I'm going to get 5. On the denominator, if I have 7x over x, the x's just cancel out. So I get 7 minus 2x, which means there's no longer a fraction on my fraction, which makes this a better answer. Now I should glance and see if there's a common factor. 3 and 5, nope. 7, 2, nope. So this is my answer. And it's better because there's no longer a fraction on my fraction. Okay. And if you are able to skip from this step to this step, that's fine with me. I'm going to show it for now, but some people will skip it. That's okay. Okay, 1b is similar. Okay, let's look at the problem is that there's a fraction on my fraction, and the problem is the denominators. So this is a denominator of 7, and this does 2. So they both have a denominator of 7. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top by 7, and I'm going to multiply the bottom by 7, and I have to distribute the 7 to everything in the numerator and the denominator. Okay, I'm going to show the middle step, and it's okay if you don't. So if I do 5 times 7, I get 35. Okay, if I do 1 times 7, I get 7, but it is over 7. So it's 7 over 7. Is that okay? Okay, now I'm going to do the same on the bottom. 2 times 7 is 14. Minus, and then if I multiply 1 7 times 7, 7 times 1 is 7, but it's over 7. Okay, let's simplify this. Okay, so I have 35 plus 7 divided by 7 is 1. On the bottom, I have 14 minus 7 divided by 7 is 1. So I'm going to get 36 over 13. Does that simplify? No, 13 is prime. Okay, so my simplified answer is 36 over 13, which is better than having a fraction on my fraction. Okay, let's try some that get a little more complicated. Okay, let's look at 2a. Okay, the fractions are on my fractions. So the denominators, I have an x and I have a 4. So least common denominator is 4x. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 4x. And you don't have to list out the common denominator. I'm doing it so you see what I'm timesing by. Okay, I'm going to distribute it and I'm going to show the middle step, which some people might skip one part. 3 times 4x is 12x plus. Okay, I'm going to times the 5 times 4x and I'm going to get 20x over x. Okay, some people look at this and they go 5 times 4x over x, the x's cancel. I'm going to show the step for now. Okay, now if I do 1 times 4x, I get 4x, but it's over 4. So 4x over 4 plus 2 times 4x is 8x. Okay, let's simplify our fractions and see what we have. So we have 12x plus 20x over x. The x's cancel, so I get 20. And the denominator, 4x over 4 is just x plus 8x. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try this. Okay, now the top, they're not like terms. Do they have a common? Oh, I can take out a common factor. They both have a 4, so let's take out a 4. So 4 times 3x, 4 times 5. Okay, on the bottom, x plus 8x, that's 9x. So does anything cancel? No. Okay, so I should factor it to see if anything cancels, but sometimes I factor it and still nothing cancels. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so I have 5, I have x. So my least common denominator is going to be 5x. Okay, I'm going to distribute on the top. So 2 times 5x is 10x over 5 plus 3 times 5x, 15x. Okay, how about on the bottom? 4x times 1 is 4x, but it's over x. And then 4 times 4x is 16x. Okay, let's simplify this and see if it got better. Okay, 10x divided by 5 is 2x plus 15x. Okay, on the bottom, 4x over x is 4. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, 2x plus 15x is 17x because they are like terms. The bottom, they're not like terms. They do have a common factor, so let me take out the 4. Does anything cancel? Nothing cancels, so factoring was not actually helpful, but it never hurts to factor because sometimes something might cancel. Okay, let's try 3. And if you think they're getting harder, they're getting a little harder. Okay, I have fractions on my fractions, so let's look at the denominator. X plus 3. They both have x plus 3, so the least common denominator is the x plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top by x plus 3 and the bottom by x plus 3. Let's see what we got. Okay, now let me see. I'm going to bring this over because something's going to cancel. So if I do 5 times x plus 3, I'm going to have 5 times x plus 3, but then at the bottom I have an x plus 3. So I don't want to distribute it because I'm going to cancel them in a second. Okay, and then I have plus 2 times x plus 3. Here on the bottom, I have 4 times x plus 3 divided by x plus 3. Okay, or some people stare at this and they're like, don't those cancel? Totally. Okay, let me bring over what I have, and I know it looks funny that I left it there, but I did for a reason. Okay, 5x plus 3 over x, those cancel. So this is just 5 plus 2x plus 6. On the bottom, x plus 3's cancel. So I just get a 4. So this already looks a lot better. Okay, let me combine my like terms. So on the top, I have 2x plus 11. On the bottom, I have a 4. 2 and 11 do not have a common factor. So this is my final answer. And this looks way, way, way better than the original. Okay, 3b is similar to the last one. Okay, what's my common denominator? This one has x minus 1, x minus 1. So least common denominator is x minus 1. It didn't tell me to identify it. I'm just doing it for our notes. So times top by x minus 1 times the entire bottom by x minus 1. Okay, I'm going to use a different color. Okay, let's distribute this and then we'll see what's going to happen. And I'm wondering if I should skip a step if it's going to freak you out. Okay, some people, they do 2 times x minus 1 over x minus 1. They know the x minus 1s are going to cancel, so they cancel it in their head, which I'm okay with, but I'm going to show the step. So I'm doing 2 times the x minus 1, and I'm going to divide it by x minus 1. And I didn't distribute it because I know it's going to cancel in a second. Okay, and then I'm going to do 3 times the x minus 1. Okay, on the bottom, I'm going to do 5 times the x minus 1 minus 7 times the x minus 1, but it's over x minus 1, so I know it's going to cancel in a second, which is why I didn't distribute it. So on the top, this cancels. So I have 2 plus 3x minus 3. And then on the bottom, I get 5x minus 5 minus, and the x minus 1's cancel. So this turns to 7. Okay, which is already looking better. Okay, let's do like terms. So that's 3x, 2 minus 1. And on the bottom, I have 5x minus 12. Common factors, nope. Done. Okay, ready? 4a. Okay, 4a. What do we got for denominators? This one's x plus 4. This one's also x plus 4, which is great. This one's not x plus 4, which is a little sad. Okay, so I'm going to need an x plus 4 and an x on each one. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the top by x and x plus 4. I'm going to multiply the bottom by x and x plus 4. Okay, and I can tell that some of the stuff's going to cancel, so that I kind of don't want to times it out all the way. So on the top, I have the 5x, x plus 4, but it's being divided by x plus 4. So I can already tell that this is going to cancel with this, which is great because now there's a 5x at the top. Okay, now on the bottom, if I do 1 times x plus 4, I'm going to just put it all together. I have 1 times x plus 4 divided by x plus 4. Okay, now I have to do the same thing with the 2. So I have 2 times x plus 4. So 2 times x plus 4, but the bottom is an x now. Okay, now stuff is going to cancel, but it's not the same stuff on each one. So on this one, the x plus 4 is cancel. On this, the x is cancel. Okay, now let me bring over what's left. I'm going to go down. Okay, so on the top, I'm only left with 5x. Okay, on the bottom, these canceled, so I'm left with 1x plus. Okay, and then these x's canceled, so I have 2 times x plus 4, which is 2x plus 8. So 5x is great. On the bottom, I have 3x plus 8. Is there a common factor with 3 and 8? No, so we're going to leave it the way it is. Okay, 4b is similar if you're working ahead. Okay, what do I got? I got x plus 5. I got x minus 3. I got x plus 5. So the x plus 5 is great because 2 of them have an x plus 5, but then that other one has an x minus 3 for no reason. Okay, let's multiply the top by the x plus 5 and the x minus 3. And the bottom, everything by x plus 5 and x minus 3. Okay, now the top doesn't even have a plus or minus sign, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel it now. Okay, so on the top, this x plus 5 is going to cancel with this x plus 5. And I can do that because there's no fraction. And I'm going to do that to make it easier. So now the top is left with the 3 and the x minus 3. Okay, now on the bottom, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I am going to put it together. So I'm going to do 2 times x plus 5x minus 3, but I'm not going to multiply it out because something's going to cancel. So 2 times x plus 5 times x minus 3 over x minus 3 plus. Okay, now I'm going to do 1 times x plus 5 times x plus 3. But I'm not really going to times it out because something's going to cancel because the whole thing is over x plus 5. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, I'm going to leave the numerator as 3x minus 3 because if I distribute it, I'm just going to refactor it, so let's not bother. Okay, first fraction, these cancel. So I'm left with 2 times x plus 5, which is what, 2x plus 10? Okay, on the next little fraction, the x plus 5's cancel, which means I am left with x minus 3. Okay, it's looking a lot better. Okay, the top's good, 3x minus 3. On the bottom, 2x and 3x, 2x and x is 3x. 10 minus 3 is 7. Is there a common factor? No, that's my good answer. Okay, now we're ready for the last one. Oh no, that first one's not factored, is it? Okay, let's factor it, but I don't have room, so I'm going to put it over here. So that's 12 over, what do I times to get 45? 4. 11 and 4. Okay, this is actually going to work out. Okay, so my least common denominator is going to be the x minus 11 and the x minus 4, because that's going to get rid of both. So let me times this by x minus 11 and x minus 4. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. Actually, I should have put that here too. Okay, bottom, x minus 11, x minus 4. Okay, I'm going to write it out. So the first one I did 5 times x minus 11 times x minus 4, but it's over x minus 11 minus, okay, now I'm going to do 2 times x minus 11 and x minus 4. But it's over x minus 4. Okay, now what cancels? Okay, on the top, these cancel. And these cancel too, which is wonderful. So on the top, I just have 12. Okay, now let's look at the denominator. Okay, on the first one, the x minus 11s cancel, so I'm left with 5 times x minus 4, which is 5x minus 20. Okay, now let's see what else we have. On the next fraction, the x minus 4s cancel. So I have minus 2 times x minus 11, which is minus 2x minus 2 times minus 11, plus 22. So I have a 12, and then on the bottom, 5x minus 2x, 3x plus 2. Good answer, no common factor.